Microsoft to remove WordPad, Cortana, and tips in an upcoming update. Apple says future iPads could feature landscape Apple logo. A Tesla owner says his car's self-driving technology failed to detect.
Trump attacks devil judge for guilty verdict, practically begging for incarceration, expert says. Scotland's top law officer urged to pursue investigation into Donald Trump's Scottish resorts after historic criminal conviction. In the U.S., 8 Senate Republicans vow to oppose all Biden nominees' Democratic legislation. Donald Trump says U.S. is a fascist state and trial judge a devil. Republican lawmakers react with fury to Trump verdict and rally to his defense, as Johnson urges Supreme Court to step in on Trump verdict. Biden calls Trump response to guilty verdict reckless, dangerous at White House.
In the U.S., Supreme Court revives NRA's lawsuit alleging that New York violated its First Amendment rights. Texas Supreme Court rejects challenge to state's abortion law over medical exceptions. Trump attacks Biden. Hush money judge in Memorial Day post. Human scum. RNC accuses Secret Service of not addressing convention security concerns. Reportedly, Trump pressures Republicans to pass a law to keep him out of jail forever. Hunter Biden used Sandy Hook shooting memorial to coordinate meeting between Dad Joe, Chinese biz partner, claimed in the documents. Less than 1/5 of Canadians support anti-Israel protest encampments at universities, and anti-Semitism is a significant problem on campus, McGill and Concordia admit. University of Toronto seeking injunction to end encampment by pro-Palestinian protesters. Canada pledges temporary visas for 5,000 Gaza residents related to citizens.
In the UK, Rishi Sunak rejects claim he plans to move to California if he loses election, and UK's Sunak proposes tax cuts for pensioners in new election pledge. Starmer to say he's changed Labour as party, rules out raising income tax or national insurance. It has been commented as Brexit fails, and Conservatives are set to lose in the UK after 14 years.
Trump told donors he will crush pro-Palestinian protests, deport demonstrators. Tlaib claims U.S. voters will make Biden pay for defending genocidal maniac Netanyahu. Vanity Fair France apologizes for removing Palestinian pin from image of Guy Pearce at Cannes.
Argentina's Milei fires cabinet chief as reform bill stalls. Argentine court orders Milei government to distribute held-up food aid. Argentina to collaborate with El Salvador in adopting Bitcoin, claimed in a report. Macron tells Germans, let's double the EU budget.
Philippines, Brunei sign deal on closer maritime cooperation, with eye on Beijing in South China Sea. In China and Africa relations, Xi Jinping vows to help Equatorial Guinea diversify economy away from heavy oil and gas reliance. Thailand aims to become first Southeast Asian BRICS member.
Japan sets up parliamentary group to probe UFO sightings, move research into mainstream. In Brazil, Chamber approves project that allows shooting clubs less than 1 kilometer from schools. Colombian Congress votes to ban bullfighting. In the U.S., DC Zoo to receive a new pair of giant pandas from China.
Donald Trump fires back at wacko former actor Robert De Niro, who called him a clown. Miley I's new controversial phrase, people are going to die of hunger, and they're going to do something to not die. In Italy, Meloni introduces herself as
U.S. to boycott UN tribute to Iran leader killed in helicopter crash. Armenian government blocks Russian TV broadcast. Turkey annuls diplomatic visa exemption agreement with Afghanistan.
Biden administration presses allies not to confront Iran on nuclear program. China, pained by Gaza situation, President Xi Jinping tells Egyptian leader Sisi. Brazil's president withdraws his country's ambassador to Israel after criticizing the war in Gaza. Israel said to have waged 9 years' war against ICC, tapping its communications. European Court of Human Rights rules Polish surveillance laws violate human rights. Biden pledges to name progressives to the Supreme Court, suggesting he expects vacancies. Trump suggested at fundraiser he would have bombed Russia and China. Nikki Haley visits Gaza border communities, blames China, Russia, and Iran for October 7th. Jill Biden wrote children's book about her White House cat, Willow, that will be published in June.
Reportedly, up to 2 million Palestinians will be able to request asylum in Spain as the government accuses Israel of genocide. Saudi textbooks remove Palestine from most maps, says Israeli study.
Mother Teresa couldn't beat those charges, says Trump, as jurors begin deliberations in trial over alleged hush money payment to porn star Stormy Daniels, and Vanity Fair comments as, Trump imagines a world in which Mother Teresa paid off a porn star to keep her quiet about an alleged affair. Opioid of opioid documentarian Ken Burns lays into Donald Trump sparking mega outrage.
The Washington Post said it had the Alito flag story 3 years ago and chose not to publish. Alito neighbors say vulgarity came after upside-down flag was flown. Trump congratulates Alito for rejecting recusal calls amid flag flap, as Alito tells lawmakers he will not recuse from Supreme Court cases despite flag controversy.
14 pro-democracy activists found guilty of subversion in Hong Kong's biggest national security case. Google, Amazon, Apple lobby group opposes India's EU-like antitrust proposal. In Argentina, Millei's sweeping deregulation plan passes first Senate hurdle.
Jacob Zuma's new party emerges a big winner in South Africa vote. In the U.S., Democratic Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia registers as independent, citing partisan extremism. Brazilian Vice President visiting China for week of meetings on trade, infrastructure, climate change. Hillary Clinton hawks, she was right about everything, mugs after Trump conviction. Trump claims he didn't say lock her up about Hillary Clinton. Florida law makes it likely that Trump will retain voting rights despite conviction.
Hunter Biden to go on trial in gun case, days after Trump was convicted. Trump warns of breaking point for Americans if he's jailed, and after trying to ban TikTok in the US, Trump joins the app with an eye on the presidential campaign. McCarthy says Americans should accept 2024 presidential election results.
South Africa quietly excludes citizens in Israel from voting amid growing tensions. Egypt arrests more than 100 due to Gaza solidarity. France bans Israeli companies from major weapons show over Rafah assault. In Gaza Strip, all hospitals in Rafah, relentlessly bombed, are now out of service. Israeli newspaper Haaretz is censored by the government and publishes text with stripes. New York hospital fires nurse after calling Gaza war a genocide in speech.
Crypto bettors lay 17% odds on Donald Trump in jail before Election Day. In Donald Trump's criminal trial, we will appeal this scam, assures the former president.